Make sure I'm also recording. Cool. All right. Hi, Mark. Shout out. There you go. There's a shout out, my boy in the Philippines. So yeah, welcome back to the podcast. For those of you joining us today, this is my radio voice. So yeah, today I'm joined by two lovely individuals. One you have seen before, one probably you've never seen before. Um, so here we are on this late evening.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, indeed
Oh,
it
it's
is.
Wednesday, my
It's
dude!
Wednesday, my dude.
Ah!
So yeah, it is Wednesday. We're gonna be getting right into this podcast. But first, I gotta introduce these lovely individuals, like I said. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the individual's picture to the right, since you have been on this podcast before. Neil, my guy,
What?
introduce
I've been
yourself.
on your podcast. What?
Yeah, just introduce my part.
Hi, I'm Neil. Uh, I'm 22. I'm struggling, and I'm an alcoholic. Hi, Neil.
Hi, Neil. All right, cool. So, and now to the lovely individual on the left photo is if you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, my name's Kyla. Are we doing age?
And you can introduce yourself however you want. I didn't give you a
Sure,
deadline.
I'll go with what Neil said. Hi, my name is Kyla. I'm 20 years old. Um, I'm not struggling too much, but
That's a lie.
we're all struggling, but we're all making it through at the end of the day. It's great to be here. Super excited.
Awesome, awesome. So, thank you once again for joining us here today. Mark, birthday shout out. Is it your birthday?
Oh, happy birthday,
Happy
Mark.
birthday. What? It's not your birthday. Is
Oh,
it?
never mind. You baited me. I hate you.
I don't know. I can't even remember. Hold on.
Can't be friends
Now,
anymore.
now he's now I feel like he's trolling me now. Oh, it's his
Still love
birthday
you, Mark.
tomorrow, but he's in the Philippines, so it is his birthday.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
happy birthday, bro.
Shot him down.
All right, cool. So, like I said, this topic is pretty much originated from a post I made last Thursday. It was super long on my Facebook. It got a little bit of attention, like my long posts usually do. Um, and then so I decided to post that same post, or
Subtle Asian trait.
slightly tweaked on the subtle Asian traits. That got
Five
a
point
lot.
something K views. Yeah.
Yeah, that got like way more attention than I was actually expecting. I was like, a couple hundred people will see it. That's it. It got up to 6,000 reactions and like a thousand and a half comments. So I mean, clearly, it's 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 had an impact somewhere. Scattered all over the world and whatnot among Asians. Um, so pretty much the basis of this was, man, I'm stuck in a rut, and it's just like a realization, that wake up call of, man, how I grew up definitely changed, definitely shaped how I live my life now and just how I view it. So I mean, yeah, I don't know how else to segue this into a question for you guys or how to get you guys talking, but I'm just gonna ask you guys for help and just start talking.
I mean, you're the host. So.
I know, but I didn't make myself an outline, which is because I had a bunch of stuff to do today. After I got home, so that's no big
Alright.
deal. So, all right, well, first, um, I don't know. For first things first, I guess reason of the topic was the main topic of that post. I'm sorry, I'm going in circles right now. Pretty much that how my parents raised me, the Asian teaching style or Asian parenting style of, you got to be strict and education first.
Oh, get
Was
A's or get beat.
yeah. Pretty much you get A's, get B's, education first. That's priority. Everything else isn't as
Get
important.
A's or get beat.
Oh, get beat. Oh, I sorry, couldn't hear. Um, so yeah, so that's pretty much the reason, and it shaped me that right now I don't really have like a huge passion for anything, and then that sparked a good conversation with people that it's okay not to know what you like or what you figure out, because eventually you will find something that you do like and enjoy, whether it's in the small victories every day, every week, or in the long term, then it's just a matter of that slow grind. So I mean,
Isn't this called an
Mhm.
existential crisis? Midlife?
well, I would say like it's a quarter
I
life
don't
crisis.
know. I'm just throwing out words I don't even know the meanings to. So
You're partially right. So I mean, I don't know that. Like, if you want to get context, you guys are feel free to read my posts. I'm not gonna go into huge detail about it, but we will talk about it, but not too much detail about my own personal so much. So yeah, I mean, did you guys grow up with strict Asian parents?
yes,
Yeah.
it was A's or get beat. I told you.
Well, my
But
parents.
like, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You're good.
No, no, go ahead.
Well, I did grow up in a strict household, but like my parents always wanted me to do well in school, of course, and they always value school a lot, but they never really forced me to get A's. They just kind of expected it and had their fingers crossed. And when I got straight A's, and it was very praiseworthy, but when I didn't, it wasn't like I got beat or anything like that. So I think I put the pressure on myself to get straight A's so that I can make my
Mm,
parents happy.
I see, I see. So it sort of became a thing in like your own head. It's like, all right, now that I've started, I think I should just stay on this track, sort of kind of mindset.
Yeah, I feel as though, like, because I knew my parents wanted me to, but they didn't force me to, is the reason why I wanted to do it for myself and for my parents. Because, like,
Mm.
when your parents force you to do something, it makes you not want to do it even more.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so when they didn't, then I was just like, okay, it's chill. Let's do it myself. And then in the midst of it, then I get to make my parents happy and proud.
Man, that's some good reverse psychology. That's
For me, for me, it was always like, oh, you got to bring home A's. If you don't, you're disgraced. Well, not
like,
really a disgrace, but like you don't get this. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like as I was growing up, uh, I think my parents slowly stopped, like not stop, but like they just gave up on me because like it would get progressively worse. So in elementary school, it was A's, and then middle school A's and B's, sometimes a C. Then high school was like one A, the rest B's, maybe a C, and then college was just like we don't even know which grade is anymore.
Yeah, okay, well, college, that's a different story. I've never told my parents what my grades were in college.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm
like
not.
they were always like
I hope we never get into that topic ever.
they were always like requesting like my login. They're like, Neil, we want to see your grade. Can you give us your login? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And like I just never gave it because I was I knew I'd get fucked if I did.
I feel you. I feel you. So, for the both of you, when would be like maybe like the earliest you realize it's like, okay, I need to focus on school or whatever.
I'd say that actually hit me around college when it was like, holy shit, I have all this independence now. Like I have to get my shit together. Like,
Mm.
cause high school, it's like kind of your parents are still over your shoulder looking at you, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Where college is like nobody's there to tell you to go to class. Nobody's there to tell you to get good grades. Nobody's there to tell you to do anything. Like you have that independence, and it's up to you to go ahead and do what you have to do.
Yeah, right. For me, it was a little bit different. I think it hit me at a really young age because in elementary school, I didn't do so hot. And I have older sisters and they did really well. So for me, it was always my parents comparing me to my older sisters. So
Mm.
in middle school, I was terrible at math and my writing just sucked. And then my sisters would tell me like, "Hey, you're going to be behind. Your friends are going to move on to the next grade without you. Like you got to practice and you got to put work in." So I remember my mom would make me like those math timed tests.
Oh, I feel that shit
Oh my god.
so
Yeah.
hard. Fuck.
My mom my mom would tell me to ask my teachers for copies, and I would bring home, like, a huge stack, and she'll just have me sit there, and she'll time me, and she'll watch me, and just, like, stuff like that, like, I had to read to my mom, like, an hour a day, and that was when I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so bad," and I I really gotta focus. So it hit me at a really early age, and I think it just went on. So, like, I got disciplined when I was young, and then high school and college was I didn't even really have to have my parents over my shoulders watching me anymore because they were so on me when I was younger.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
But those time tests, though.
No, I feel you. I feel you. For me, it was something similar. It's like it started at a younger age, where it's like I remember when I was little, like I'll probably say like second grade, first grade, or something, right? My parents are like, "Oh yeah, you're doing a good job in school. That's good." And they obviously they didn't pressure me too much, about it, because I was still a kid. I was still getting good grades, and I was like, I was more or less enjoying myself for the most part. And then they started making me read books with them at home, sort of
Mhm.
like you, for like 30, maybe an hour,
Yeah.
at night with them. Obviously, I didn't enjoy that. I didn't like. It was like anxiety slash kind of nervousness because I didn't like reading in front of
People.
people. It's just like half like
Yeah.
performance anxiety, even though you're just reading.
Mhm.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I think that's where it started, where I just didn't enjoy reading because my parents made it feel so like a chore.
Yeah,
Like you said,
definitely.
like they're trying to get you to do something. I was like, I'm not really enjoying it.
Mhm.
But I think the biggest point for me was fourth grade specifically. So, um, in fourth grade, in my elementary school, LAUSD didn't have like A's through B's for elementary school. For elementary school, they had like one, two,
Letters?
three. They had one, two, three, and four.
Oh.
Four being the
Oh,
best.
shoot. I
Yeah.
meant numbers. I don't know why I said letters. Did you have E, like
N-
for excellent?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
use
yeah.
that if they're fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
like it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 for the grades, and then for like attitude stuff, it would be like E, S, and U. Excellent, satisfactory, and unsatisfactory. So
yeah, I
yeah.
remember that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so there I remember that. And I remember fourth the reason why I remember fourth grade was because I remember I didn't turn in a report one time because I was like I didn't know what to do. Like I legitimately didn't know what to do. Um So I didn't submit it. I got a bad grade, and then I was doing poor on like my spelling or my vocabulary test, right? So then they did the same thing, like what you said. Like they told me to take copies of tests home, and they would test me how to spell stuff and like vocabulary tests at home. And I was like, all right, cool. They're pretty serious about this. I need to start doing well, or I don't want to keep doing these tests at home. I don't get punished. This like sucks.
Mm.
And then they already took away like my video games during the weekdays, like my post mentioned a while back, and
Oh
I'm just like.
dude, feel
Like,
that shit.
yeah, dude, I had
No weekday video games because you're
yeah,
dumb.
yeah. I had like, or me and my siblings, we had a Nintendo 64 and a PlayStation 1 and a Sega Genesis. So it was like super nice to have to play, but at the same time, it was just, it felt like that was the turning point. I was like, all right, cool. I need to get, as a kid, I need to get my butt into the seat and just do well. If I don't do well, I'm gonna keep doing this, and it's not gonna be great. So that's when it hit me. It's like, all right, school is important. So I was like, I gotta be the best now. Like, so I mean, that was my turning point. Um, that my realization point as a kid, anyways. Now that I look back on it, so I mean, like, now that you figured out like where more or less where it's kind of hit you. Um, Looking back to it in retrospect, like how did that shape you like after those points or even previously compared to other times since Neil, you said yours came later in college.
Jace? Wait, what?
So like how do you look back on that? How do you compare yourself from these moments that you look back upon compared to like the rest of your days in education?
Oh my god, now I'm just like, I should have fucking done better. I'm slightly disappointed in myself for not doing that, for not taking the initiative. Cause now I'm sitting here like, fuck, it's so hard to find a job. And like all my friends that have like done well in school,
Mhm.
they're all working. And I'm here like sitting on my ass waiting for something to happen because well, my GPA wasn't too low, but it wasn't too high either.
Mhm.
But like I'm sitting here and I'm wasting away and I'm slow like I'll be honest, I've kind of been slipping into a bit of depression
Mhm.
because I'm not making as much progress in my life as I want to be. And like there's
Mm.
so many things that I want to do but I can't
See, this is
because, the lack
yeah.
of funds.
This is exactly why we're having this podcast.
Yeah,
Like this is
yeah.
like pretty much one of the reasons. Exactly. Okay, thank you for bringing that up.
But yeah, I've been sitting here like wondering what I should do, and it's really depressing not knowing what to do next. If there's anything else left for me to go through. You know,
Mhm.
like that's all I got to say about that.
You know what's interesting? Because like now, it's kind of looking at where society is going, and I don't know if you guys use LinkedIn, but on LinkedIn, I see so many posts that say like, "Oh, GPA doesn't matter anymore in terms of jobs." Not even like education. Now, there's so many people who are hiring where if you can do the job and if you have the skills, that's all they want. They don't look at your GPA, they don't look at the school that you go to. So I think there's so many opportunities out there, but when we look at everyone else, it just feels as though, yeah, they did really well in school, they went to this school and did that, and I didn't, and that's why I'm here. But really, your opportunities are out there. You just gotta search and choose the right ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
that makes
I
sense.
mean, like, I'll be honest, I'm kind of sitting here with like 45 plus pending job applications, but
Mhm.
I like I know they're out there, but just the time it takes to respond to it is just like, oh my god, I don't know what to
Yeah.
do at this time. But like, thank God I'm still working, even though it's like minimum wage, not even minimum
No,
wage.
that's higher than minimum right now.
Um,
Yeah.
even though it's not something that I want to be doing, like thank God I still have a job so I can support myself and do things that I
Mhm.
want.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. I think that was one of the things that like I talked about like in a long time ago in a completely different post where it's just like or just people complaining in general. Like our generation isn't too happy about like the direction of where things are going. Because it's like everyone's like, "Ah, do what you want." But doing what you want doesn't mean that necessarily that you're going to be happy and more
Mhm.
or less more of the time how I see it and from people's stories, doing what you want means you're just going to end up struggling more because not like obviously it could be in a bad way, it could be in a good way because if you struggle more it means, you're on the right path to something, working on yourself, working towards what you want to do. But on the other side of it, it's like, look, we were raised a certain way and we were taught that this way was going to be the quote unquote most likely way to reach success, whatever success meant to us or to our parents or whoever raised us, right? And for me, I think it was like just what you say, Neil. Like like in a job that not I'm doing something not necessarily that I want to do, and it's like a bunch of jobs are like Gerard in the chat. Thank you. Skills pay the bills. You're right. And it's like people are always looking for experience. Um, and sure, experience and most people look at your resume, right? Like you said, not they might not look at your GPA, they might not look at your school, but they want to look at your skills and like your experience. For me, I didn't really have that. Um, and that kind of set me back a bit. And I'm right now I'm just in that slow grind, just working my way through, trying to plan out what I can do in the meanwhile. Cause Neil, how you said it's like you feels like you're sort of wasting time, right? That's what you said a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's like just the long game now, the long term. Because right now, it sounds weird, but the way things are going in our society, pretty much you either start super young or you play the long con. But right, because how I see it, 30 is like the new 25. Everyone plays the long con now. Because it's not as easy to start young unless you have these opportunities right at your door, or you struggle super hard super early. But I
Mhm.
don't know. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I agree with you because, like, now I think when I was little, I imagined like getting married at like 25 and having kids before I'm 30. And now I look at people who are older than me, like my sister, she's around that age and she's barely like stabilizing her career.
Mhm.
And she's been in a long-term relationship, but marriage is not in the picture yet just because she's not financially stable enough. And that's based on her definition of financially stable. But yeah, I totally agree with you in terms of how 30 is the new 25.
Wow, I've had none of that. So can't relate. Sorry.
I mean, I was
Yeah,
sort of the same way. Like, people, you're either doing your personal goals early or you're doing your personal goals late. Cause,
oh, I
Mhm.
guess I'm late. Fuck me then. Fuck.
well, I mean, it like everyone, like I said, everyone's at their own pace. This is me on my
Mhm.
observations on how I see people and how people I know.
Yeah.
I know people who gotten married early. I know people who've gotten married late. Same thing with like the kid situation. But and like people
Mhm.
still going to school. I'm just like, dude, you do you, man. It's crazy. But at the same time, it's just like, what do I want to do? You know, it's so hard that for me, for someone who doesn't know what a real passion is, or what like a good job to me is, it's hard for me to start realizing that. You know. So, did my stream go down? Is my stream okay?
You're okay.
Okay, cool. I cannot tell.
Actually, I don't know.
Oh no.
I'm not looking at it. I should be fine.
Okay. Well, it says it's still going, but it doesn't see anything. But okay. Well, yeah. I mean, what do you guys think? Or Neil more so, since Kyla already answered.
Wait, could you repeat the question? I
So
was like,
what do you think about like people's own pacing after like how to do their
hmm,
goals or just how to live life?
hmm. Think I'm not really sure how to answer that, to be honest. I think it's good that people go on at their own pace, but I just wouldn't go too slow, you know.
Mhm. So, okay, let me pose you
Because it's
this.
like
Okay.
life doesn't stop,
Yeah.
so you probably shouldn't go slow with anything, to be honest.
Okay. So,
Because you're
okay.
just gonna end up falling behind, you know. Next thing you know, you're like
Right.
broken.
Okay, let me pose this question to both of you then. Um, with the expectations that your parents had, and obviously Neil's yours was like it loosened up a bit, and Kyla, you too, you got to do your thing. How did that shape like your ideals later on in life? Because Kyla, you said it's like get married at 25, kids at 30 or whatever, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
like, what are like some other aspirations or goals that that got framed in your head by either your parents or like social media or just in whatever?
Yeah. I want to say I had those like family goals, or I mean, I set those goals to be achieved at a young age, like 25, right? But it's
Mhm.
because my parents got married at a young age and my parents had their first child at a really young age. So I think that's where my that goal came from for me. In terms of like career wise, I did not know what I wanted to do at all. Like, I was so lost in high school, super lost, college, super lost, did a lot of exploration. And it's super cliche. I'm sure a lot of people have heard it, but step outside your comfort zone, try new. And the reason why people say that is because that's exactly true. Like, that is really how you're able to discover. Because for me, I think in college, what got me through my lost moments is even though I'm lost, I'm actively trying to not be lost. So I don't feel as though I'm
Mm.
stagnant. Like, you see everyone else doing their own thing. Some people are very certain about what they do, and it makes you feel even worse that you're lost.
Mhm.
But when you know that you're trying new things and you know that, one day everything's gonna pay off because you tried all these new things. Everything's gonna come together. But if you're lost and you're not doing anything to try to help yourself, then that's a different story.
Fuck, I feel like I'm kind of the reverse because from the start of high school, I kind of had a vision of what I wanted to do, and now that I'm here, I'm just like, fuck, I don't know where I'm going anymore.
It's crazy, right? Because like I think in all of us, I think com comparison, whether it's us to ourselves, to like our previous goals and our previous ideals, or even us to other people, or you know what I mean, just having that comparison is just like so jarring to some people, including myself, right? Because it's just,
Mhm.
you want to do what they do, or you want to have some sort of like uh relative success compared to what they're doing, right? Whether
Mhm.
and it's hard to when you're comparing yourself, that whether you're not reaching the goals or you are, it's just it's it becomes like a competition with yourself, even though you don't need it to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Do you guys feel as though the pressure you put on yourself is healthy for you or unhealthy?
Oh, definitely not.
Unhealthy for
Oh
sure.
my
For
god.
sure.
Listen, the pressure I put on myself makes me depressed. All right.
I mean, I think for the most part, pressure that I put on myself, because when I tell myself I'm gonna do something, like I have been committing to it, especially before last year ended. But I think I put pressure on myself based off other people's expectations. So it's not necessarily they're putting the pressure on me. I'm like, what's the I can't remember that saying, but I'm creating that imaginary weight upon my own shoulders. So
Yeah.
hmm. I mean that also makes me just wonder, just like, especially like growing up being Asian, strict household. Did your parents ever compare you to like a
All the
relative,
time.
or like
Is that even
anyone?
a question?
Well, of course. Okay,
Sorry, I
so
couldn't help
no. Of course,
help that
that's
shit.
exactly the reaction I was looking for, actually. So, all right. So, as an example, if you're willing to share, what are some things that your parents would compare you to, or people like subjects, like would it be
Oh,
music,
bitch, I
talent,
fucking got you.
school,
Listen,
jobs?
listen.
Go. Take it, take it.
At first, from high school to college, like my parents were like, Nico got into Cal Poly Pomona. Nico's my brother, by the way. You didn't get into Cal Poly Pomona. You went to Long Beach instead. You're a failure. You know? I
Mhm.
felt that shit, and like I had a moment where I actually did like break down crying in front of them, like, dude, I'm sorry. Like I tried. Like um, I already see myself as a failure. Like it was really
Mhm.
depressing. And same thing happened with the whole job thing. It's like your brother got a job straight out of college, and like
Mm.
I'm here like I don't have a job yet. You're a failure. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Like I had another fucking mental breakdown in front of them, and I started crying too. And I was like, dude, like I'm trying
No,
my
I had
hardest.
that.
There's
I
nothing
feel
more I
you.
can
I
do.
feel that, dude. Oh, I feel
Hey,
that.
you're trying. Y'all are trying. We're all trying here.
Trying
Trying
Always,
our
doesn't matter.
best.
always with the mental breakdown. It doesn't matter if it doesn't get you.
Yeah, kinda. I've had that talk. It sucks. What about you, Kyla? What have you had comparisons to?
Oh yeah, so I'm the youngest out of three. So technically four, because that's a different story. My cousin is basically my sister. But I'm the youngest, and one of my sisters, she was born on my dad's lucky year. So my dad's super superstitious and very Asian. So her being born on my dad's lucky year meant that she was the golden child that everyone praised. And she's super smart, always did super well in school. She's pursuing pharmacy right now, and I was always compared to her, like for math, for writing, anything academically related. That was who I was being compared to. Um, and then in terms of just life in general, I guess, because I'm considered the rebel child in my family, and I don't even do anything bad, but I never wanted to accept the strict household rules. Like I
Mm.
always felt so frustrated by it. So I would always just try to still like have my own freedom while, trying to not disappoint my parents at the same time. So everything I did, I felt as though I was kind of going against them because I felt so strongly about being so restricted, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys felt that too. Like when
No,
you're
no, no, no.
when
I
you
get you. I get you. I think it's funny because we're all the youngest child. We're the younger
really
sibling.
Yeah, I feel that
I
shit.
think that sort of just happens because as the older child, right? They're like like quote unquote, especially if your parents are immigrants, right, and they're raising them in the U.S., it's just like quote unquote, they're the guinea pig child. And
Mhm.
then based off their experience, not only do they compare you as the younger sibling to them, because it's like, hey, they turned out okay, why didn't you turn out like this, right? Because
Mm,
Yeah.
it's also because
I
it's
feel
like,
that.
society's always changing, but at the same time, like, I don't know about you guys, but did your older siblings ever give you advice on what to do different from what they did when they were growing up?
I don't really think so.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
I
Oh,
mean,
you go talk about this then.
Oh.
Okay, I'm
No,
sorry.
well, I think yes, but I'm not too sure because I feel as though my sister didn't tell me what path she took. She just told me the advice.
right, right, right,
So,
right.
yeah, so like I don't know what she did, but through what she did, the lessons she learned from that, that's what she told me because she doesn't want her little sister to make the same mistake that she did.
Nico never helped you with that, Neil.
Uh,
Like with anything?
not okay. Life-wise, yes. Educational, no.
Okay, so what did he teach you about like life-wise relative to education? Because like this doesn't have to go with just education. This is just growing up
More.
in general.
Most of the things he's told me about was like in terms of relationships.
Mm.
Mm,
Not really like anything else aside from that.
mhm.
Maybe like
Well,
drink a little bit, but
that's pretty cool, like how you're able to talk about relationships with your siblings or
yeah.
your sibling.
Honestly, I think it's cool that him and I are actually pretty close. Like,
Oh.
I shit you not, we're always going to raves now. We're always talking about like shit that's happening in our lives. We rock climb every other day. Like, wow, dude. Like, because I think um when we were younger, we'd always fight. I'd always annoy him, and he'd get pissed off. Then we start fighting. Uh, but my parents like put in our minds that you know once we're gone, this is the only thing you're gonna have left is your
Mm.
siblings.
Mhm.
And now that we're actually like getting closer and whatnot, I think fuck, I don't want to tear up. God damn it.
Aw.
Um, I think that really like lives on in both of us. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
both of us are gonna be
Yeah.
here. We're gonna be here like supporting each other, making sure everything's okay, you know.
It's okay. You can cry.
Mhm.
You can cry.
Yeah.
The cameras aren't on.
Oh.
But yeah.
No, Neil, I totally feel you. Like I know it used to be really hard for me to talk about my sisters or my family in general, just because I I'm the or we're all the youngest, and I don't know the age gap between you and your siblings, but with my age gap
It's
with
4.
my
I'm
siblings,
just kidding. I'm
4
sorry.
years.
Yeah.
Dang.
No,
I mean,
not 4. 2. 2, 3.
okay, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah, I
Three.
lied. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Three.
I
I.
don't know how to count. Leave me
No, no,
alone,
no.
man.
I'm confirming with you. Three.
Okay.
Nehron, you know, but Neil, you
No,
know.
because
It
I know
happened.
Neil's a year younger. No, four.
I don't know why I said 4.
No, three, three, yeah, three and a half. Because Nico's 2 years older than me. You're a year younger than me. Yeah, you're a year and a half younger than me. So yeah, about three
Shit.
and a half.
He's
Yeah, three and a
25
half.
right now? Oh, fuck. I thought he was 24.
I mean, you asking, dude. I don't know. I don't remember his birthday. All right, so sorry, Kyler. Sorry to
Alright.
interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Yeah, so my sisters, growing up, I didn't have the best relationship with them because I didn't feel as though I could talk to anyone in my family. Like, for sure, could not talk to my parents. My sisters, I once talked to my middle sister and I told her like a lot, but then she started telling my other sisters. So I was like, oh, okay, never mind, let's stop.
Oh, shit. Let's
So
gossip. What's going on here?
yeah, so I felt almost betrayed because I trusted my one sister about what's going on in my life, and she goes and tells the rest of my family. So I kind of closed off again. And my sisters would always tell me, hey, family's super important. At the end of the day, family is what you're gonna have. Like, despite how many friends you make, family will always be there for you. And when she told me that, I didn't really believe it because I didn't feel as though they would be here for me. Like, I can't talk to them. They're always restricting me, and that was when I was younger. I didn't really understand the intention they had on that, but the older you get, the more you realize, your family and your siblings do want the best for you, even though they might not tell you. It's like tough love, and I used to cry like the instant I talked about my oldest sister because she and our relationship was so tough at one point. Um, yeah, she was my second mom when I wanted a sister or a friend instead. So with Neil, like when you say that and you get emotional with siblings, it's totally understandable and it's totally okay to cry. You don't have to, like we all don't have to shield our emotions. We gotta let it out and other people will relate and feels like you're less lonely in this world.
Oh boy, I wish that could actually happen. Be less lonely. Good. Just kidding. I'm sorry. I take it back.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has their own experience because kind of unlike you guys, I don't know, like the age gap was kind of big for me too. Um, my eldest sister is 10 years older than me. My second oldest, or the middle sibling sister, is 6 years older than me. So, it was kind of rough not having them around sometimes because, even though in middle school they would be doing high school things, when I was in high school they're doing college things or like
Mhm.
working already, and I'm just like, okay, you do you. So I didn't really get as much of a connection with my siblings up until more like recently, like in college, because they realize like, yeah, he's old enough, he's gonna start saying things. He has an opinion. I'm like, all right, yeah.
Mhm.
And other than like sibling relations and like relative to them, it's also because like they I also had that comparison of my eldest sister also went to Berkeley, my other sister went to Irvine, and I'm just like, all right, cool. I got to get into a good school now, right? And with their help, they did help me find my way a little bit here and there. Whenever seemed like I was struggling. But yeah, just having family, and I think having this talk of change with my parents and how like society is a little bit different is a lot harder on
Mhm.
me because just like Neil, it's like, man, I cried in front of my parents too, just about like dumb stuff because like we see things differently. Um,
Mhm.
Mom, how come I can't get a girlfriend?
oh man,
Wait, no, no, please don't go into that.
oh too late, we're going into it. So growing up as an Asian, we're just gonna get into a slightly lighthearted topic. Did your all right, hold on. So small story, small story. So I saw this skit or this video today where it's like, man, Asian parents they never teach you anything about how to get a girl, how to get a boy, be in a relationship, how to take care of them. And then, as soon as you graduate college and you turn in like 25, they're like, "Where are the kids?" I'm like, "You didn't teach me anything."
Oh, okay, okay. Wait, let me tell you
Like,
about.
come on, hey, right? Am I right though? Am I
Let me
right
tell you
though?
about this shit. Look, I went on vacation to the Philippines. Just recently over winter from like February or from the end of January to mid February. I was in the Philippines, and every time I'd run into one of my relatives, they'd be like, "So, you have girlfriend yet?" And I'm like, "No."
No.
I'm like, and like I shit you not, I overheard like my mom, my grandma, my aunties like talking to each other. Neil does not have girlfriend. Why? And I think at this point my grandma is actually expecting to have grandchildren now. But not grandchildren, great grandchildren, alright?
Right,
But
right.
like oh my god, when I left, they're like, okay Neil, go find girlfriend, bring her back to Philippines, okay? I'm like, what the fuck? No, I'm not. But like
I thought sorry, go ahead.
it's just like every time I saw them, they were like, "Oh, you're so handsome. How come you don't have girlfriend?"
Yeah, man, freaking
Dude, I don't know.
your family is like the biggest hype man you could ever ask for, to be honest. And then man, like my mom thinks I'm cool, you know.
That's what I do. I'm like, nobody loves you. My mom thinks I'm cool.
My mom thinks I'm cool. My grandma thinks I'm handsome.
Yeah, all my relatives are like, "Oh, you're so
You
handsome.
so
How come you don't have
handsome.
girl?"
Where's
You
your
are.
girlfriend? Yeah. Alright, that's yeah. So I feel you on that
It's
one.
it's so sad because it's like, other people like, oh my god, why aren't you cuffed yet? Yeah, I don't know.
Dude,
Probably
I
because I have a shitty attitude, but you know,
don't-
it really do be like that.
it be like that sometimes, you feel? What about you, Kyla? What is your relationship with your family expectations?
So it's funny that you bring that up because today, actually, on Subtle Asian Traits, I saw this girl post and she wrote, "Some of y'all didn't have to hide your girlfriend or your boyfriend from your parents, and it shows." And I was like, "Oh
Oh,
my gosh, I totally had to do that." And I would always get caught. I don't even know, but it's probably my sisters. They ratted me out. But yeah, it was
Can't hide what
tough.
you never had. Boom.
damn,
Yeah.
damn, that got real. No, I'm just kidding. So, so you couldn't necessarily hide it from your family, right? How many times did you quote unquote fail trying to hide your significant other?
Try hiding him in the
Um,
closet.
In the closet.
I think it wasn't even like a significant other. It would just be a guy that I would be talking to.
Uh huh.
Because when I was little, I would talk to a guy. I didn't even have a Facebook. I wasn't allowed to have a Facebook, so we
Of
were
course not.
chatting
You're not
through.
old enough.
Yeah.
This is a
Who actually listens
this
to that?
this doesn't even become like a family rule. Like legally, you're not supposed to have a Facebook. All right, but go on.
Yeah, so we would chat through Gmail chat or AIM. I don't know if you
Yo,
guys
yo,
remember
you know what
that.
AIM
Come
is?
on back. Nightmare
Holy,
Lumia, let's
whoa,
go.
whoa, you know you're 20 and you know what AIM is? Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? All right, continue.
Wait, did y'all use Ubu too?
Oh
bitch,
my
you know it.
God, Neil, you already know why I have Ubu.
Uh-huh.
All right, go on, Kyla.
But yeah, I would use those platforms and I would be talking to a guy and then they'll always walk by and then they'll be like, "Why are you on the laptop for so long? What are you doing?" And then I'll be like, "Oh, I'm just watching something." And eventually one time they went through my laptop and they read like everything and I was like, "Oh,
Dang.
dang." I got
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a big no-no. If future parents take note, don't violate your kids' privacy. That'll make them trust you less.
Hey,
I
hold
know,
on. Was it your
right?
laptop to
Hold on.
begin with?
It was. It was.
Kinda-
Oh,
what
that's a
kinda-
major violation.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you
Nah,
have
nah,
a
nah.
password match?
It's parents' household. My house, my rules.
You right?
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So
How
I
about you,
mean,
Neyron?
what do
What's
you
your
mean? What about
story?
me? Oh wait, you. I
I don't
hold on.
know.
Hold on. Sorry. Time out. That's me being rude. That because yeah. Sorry, I treated you like you knew me already, but
You're
because
an asshole.
no, because if you knew my story, there's just this huge cloud just hanging over my head since like high school. Um, I'm not gonna get too deep into this because a lot of people who know me know this story or like the general idea of it. But it's a super cute story. You know, has its highs, has its downs. It's basically a Wong Fu movie. I can make a novel out of it. Be a really cute bestseller, hands down. But basically, you know, everyone knew about it, including my parents, and they would always ask me, "Hey, Neron, is that your girlfriend?" Whenever I bring like a girl over to my house, which is pretty rare because my house is out of the way from school.
Oh no, I
Um,
just never bring girl over because I can't get any. That works too. Right?
liar! You're a
No, it's
You're a liar! Liar! Okay, but basically, you know, I'll be like, "Oh, I'm
Wait,
gonna
can
go
I
ahead."
can I just go on a tangent real quick? Like Filipino parents and like bring friends. If you bring a girl over, like say you're a guy,
Oh yeah,
if you bring
bringing a
if you
person
bring
of
a
the
girl,
opposite gender over.
is that your girlfriend? Oh, are you having orgy? Like
Oh my
Okay.
god.
at some point, I did have like 4 girls come over at one, but nothing happened. They were just picking me up to go get food, and
But yeah, like if you're
and
just
then
saying you're gonna hang out with someone,
yeah,
be like,
right.
"Oh, I'm gonna hang
Are
out
you
with
sure
my
you're gonna hang
friend."
out?
Yeah,
And then if
yeah.
you bring a guy home, are you gay? It's like what the fuck?
No,
I
yeah,
can
my parents make my dad specifically makes fun of me too. He's like, "So you have girlfriend yet?" And I'm like, "No." What
I'm
about
like, you like
boyfriend? I'm like, "No." I'm like, I'm not homophobic, but I don't swing that way.
yeah, I don't swing
But
that way either, but
you know, it's also the point where it's like you said, it's just like it's like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with my friend. I'm like, who are you gonna hang out with? Oh, what's their name? I tell them, and then I would tell them the truth. It'd be a girl name. It'd be like, oh, Samantha, and then be like, oh, Samantha, she your girlfriend? I'm like, damn it, just let me leave. But obviously, my parents still joke around about that for now. But I don't think it's like a biggest priority for them because they know I'm trying to transition my own stuff right now. So it's been more lenient recently. But growing up, I'm just like, man, you want kids already? Get married? What do you,
Oh, dude,
have you
you want
looked at
kids? I haven't even made it to third base. Wait,
Dude, what? Same. But basically, I don't know. Having these expectations of having a significant other is crazy, dude. I always wanted that experience where like they'd always welcome them, and I've had like that proxy experience. Like I wasn't the boyfriend, but their family treated me like I was the boyfriend, so that was neat.
Oh.
And like, trust me, like they pay for my meals. They're super nice. They invite me over. They invite me to other stuff. I'm just like, look, I appreciate you, but I can't. I'm not. I'm not your daughter's boyfriend. I wish I was, but I'm not. So it's not gonna happen. So
actually,
I respect you. I love you
I wanted
guys,
to
but
ask, but like, how has like the relation? Fuck, I can't speak. How's the relationship you have with your parents like influenced external relationships, like or
like,
like significant others and stuff like that? 'Cause you know how some people like they talk to their parents about girlfriends, boyfriend issues.
mm,
I've actually never done that with my parents. So when going into the dating world, I'm basically blind as fuck, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, your brother gave you some advice, no?
I was like after like I when trouble starts, that's when he gives me advice. But like
Oh.
bef- the time before, where it's like you can do anything you want, you know, that's that's what I'm talking about. Like I really have no idea how to build relationships with people like I have interest in.
Mm.
So it ends up like I'm interested in you, but to you, it's always gonna be like, oh, he just wants to be friends.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know how to like get over that bridge, I guess.
got you. Well,
But that's maybe because like I never really like oh hmm fuck I got lost in my own thoughts.
no
Shit.
worries. Let me just answer the question you already posed. You can keep collecting your thoughts. So for me, I didn't talk to my parents about it too much. I was talking to my dad about it when I was in college because, like I said, I didn't know what to do for a certain point. But they didn't really help me. They would always say, just be nice to everybody. Um, that wasn't really relationship wise, but for me, because my parents are like older, right, and I'm the youngest, and yeah, I always looked at things old school. Like people go to me and be like, "Hey man, you're so old school about like things you do." I'd be in high school, I'd be doing shit that you'd see in like '90s movies, dude, or in like 2000s movies. Like, dude, you're so old school. I'm just like, I'll just shoot or text. I'm like, nah, dog, that ain't me. Um,
That's cute though. Girls like that, or guys like that too.
Really? Cause
some
like
people,
Yeah,
some people. I think
yeah.
some people like to get straight to the point. So, I don't.
You're right. True.
I think that's
I
what's
think
changed.
I feel that shit where it's like I don't want to just like slide into a girl's DMs. I'll be like, hey, do you want to grab lunch, dinner, coffee?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like
you know,
I play the
I
slow
want that,
game,
you
dude.
know,
That's my
human.
pace.
I love you. I'm sorry.
That's my pace. I mean, what about you, Kyla? What do you go? Just tell me.
Uh,
Tell me
I
everything.
so I didn't talk to my parents. I talked a little bit to my sisters, but they never really gave me advice. My mom would always just be like, "No boys." My dad said
Oh,
no
boys, until
boys.
you're married.
Yeah, you're right, right? That happens too often. But let's see. With boys, in terms of like my own kind of like style, I am also very old school, so I find myself to be a hopeless romantic. Like I love like handwritten letters. I love just not the usual stuff, Text messaging is great, but send me an email. I don't know.
Send me an email. Who says that?
Holy shit.
Yo,
Maybe
yo,
here's my email.
yo. Let me.
Slide through.
Yeah, like send me a mail, like a actual physical mail. in the
Snail mail?
Also,
I don't
like,
know.
Fucking strap it to a pigeon. Old school.
A carrier
Yeah.
pigeon.
Because I mean, if you think about it, how are you gonna get someone to remember you? You know, if you do something that they don't expect,
Bust through their window,
then
proclaim your love.
Where? Just pray they live in a 2-story house and come over with a guitar.
I love you, bitch. I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch.
But I don't know. It's just in terms of familial influence. It's the fact that my family was always old school. We always took it slow for the most part.
Yeah.
But also because you know how you said like our family's influence, right? And like funny enough, like you know how people say it's like if you're a son, right? You sort of the people you or sorry, depending on what gender you are, if you have the parental figure of the opposite gender in your life, that's who you end up relating your
oh yeah,
significant
yeah,
other to a little bit. I mean, I don't
yeah.
know if has that played into your life, or have you recognized that?
Yes, I have. So what you're trying to say is that in your significant your mom or your dad within that person.
Yeah, a little bit. Like you see similarities, and it's like what you grew
Yeah,
up with, because it's like something familiar to you, right?
yeah. I
For
think it's super true.
mm-hmm. So
Hmm.
like you would
Yeah, I
feel like
definitely.
you'd get your people you were interested closer to like your father figure, or with Neil maybe your mother figure.
Hmm.
Yes? No?
What you trying to say? Just kidding.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, not only that, but I have two older sisters, so I have a little bit of both, like my mom and like maybe a little bit of my sisters projected onto them. So, I mean, that's how it was with, like I said, that girl who I was basically the proxy boyfriend. She was like very familiar with to me in terms of like how she acted and just like, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just putting that part out there in terms of like growing up. That doesn't even have to be with like
Uh,
growing up Asian.
I think after talking to my brother, I learned to, and, like, what I don't understand is with relationships is like, how can guys or girls go from one person to the next to the next to the next? Like, I don't know about you guys, but after something goes wrong, I like to get closure and figure out what went wrong, how I could prevent this next time, or like not really how I could prevent, but how can I address this next time it comes up. And how can I learn and grow from this experience? And that usually takes me like 3 months, but I don't know how people are like fucking a week later in a new relationship, and I'm just like, what the fuck, you guys? How? It's like just that's just how I grow, I guess. Hello?
No, I get you. I
Okay.
get you. No, but no, but I mean,
Are we
I
the
mean,
I was like, holy shit.
opposite?
sorry, no, you're right. But I feel like that goes from person to person. Like I said, like I'm pretty slow too. For me, I also say about 2-3 months is also. We talked about me. No, we talked about this in the previous podcast, Neil, the last one you were on.
Bring it up.
The Valentine's Day one this year with the
More.
because we
But
we
we
all
talked
said
about
we all
growth,
said
though.
we all talked about our period phase, our trial phase, our
No,
courting
but we
phase.
talking about growth though.
No, but growth, I mean, it depends. That's person to person. I mean, for me, I don't see a relationship growth is different from personal growth because there and for
You don't use relationships to grow your person. Oh, actually, I don't know.
no, see, you're wrong. Oh, you're contradicting yourself. Don't lie. No, because the reason is I'm saying they're two separate growths, and then sure they'll intersect at certain points, but at the same time, you can't use one as a parameter to measure the other one. That's how I see it until it becomes something super serious and it becomes a completely intertwined in your lifestyle. In the beginning, I can't use that as a parameter. You know what I mean? That's why I can't use that.
Okay. I
Is
got
that fair? Is that
you.
fair to
Yeah,
say?
that is. It is.
Okay, there you go. That's it. That's my point. That's my point. Kyla, do you have anything to say about that or no?
Fuck growing up. I want to be kidding. Fuck everybody. There,
Honestly,
I got it. What's up?
when we're kids, all we want to do is grow up, and then when we're old, we're just like, shoot, dang,
I want to be a
Oh,
kid
we
again.
fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I do things as an adult that I couldn't do as a kid, man. I never went go-karting as a kid. So I went go-karting.
Oh my
That shit's
God.
so fun. It's so expensive, but it's so fun. And then I'm like, that's why I want to go into like autocross. I want to get a sports car so I can do stuff that's fun as an adult that you can't do as a kid. Or I didn't get an experience as a kid. But seriously, y'all need to go go-karting. This is so fun, like legit.
So what do you think about your parents lying to you just to get you to shut the fuck up?
I
How's
don't
that
know.
affected your growth, huh?
I
Because
don't-
like
I
my
wouldn't-
dad I kid you not, my dad one time promised to take me to Mulligan's. I put that shit on my phone, and the day came through, and he didn't take me. I was so sad.
I wouldn't say necessarily lie to me. I think, yeah, they didn't really lie to me. They just didn't tell me what their intentions were. I don't know if that's considered lying. I mean, you can if you wanted to, because it's technically hiding the truth. But I don't think they had a reason to tell me a reason why they did what they did, because they just assumed that they're the adults. They know what they're doing, and I'm a kid. You should just just do what they say because they have experience in life. They should know what they're doing. And like some people question that as a kid. Growing up, some people question and be like, "Why is that?" I wasn't really one of those kids, so I think that's why I don't say they really lied to me. I think I just didn't know.
Nah, bro, they lied to you. Just kidding. I don't know. That's. I guess that's up to people to people.
I don't know, Kyla. Do you have any questions that you want to ask us, or like one you wanted to talk about?
In regards to growing up Asian, let me see. What
You
about
better
like,
get no B,
huh?
or you see your way out.
What about like how superstitious your parents were? Because I know I mentioned earlier, like my dad is super superstitious.
Oh boy, let me tell you about Filipino superstition. Okay, actually, I had nothing back then. But so Neon, you take over. So
I mean, superstition. I don't think my family was really superstitious about anything growing up because, we were Filipino, other than like being religious. Growing up as a Roman Catholic, outside of that, we weren't like superstitious about stuff. We can't say like, oh, if you did this, something bad's gonna happen. You do that, or if you do that, or if you do this good thing,
yeah,
something
don't
good
do
happens.
this, or you go to hell.
But yeah, it's like it wasn't necessarily superstitious stuff. I mean, like, what about you? Like, obviously, since your dad is superstitious, what did you go through?
Yeah, so it was nothing too dramatic. It was just little things here and there. Like you can't have white stuff in your hair. So no white hats, no white hair ties, no white clips. The number 4, that was always a no-no. There's just certain things that you do on certain days. Like on Chinese New Year's, my dad would say something like, you have to walk through the front door in the morning. So you can't walk out the front door, you have to walk in the front door. So it means that money is coming in this year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Shit,
I don't know,
know
just like
what.
little stuff like that.
I
Okay.
don't know a Filipino.
Okay.
superstitions we have.
So it's not a superstition,
Or
but
no,
it's
but,
like
like,
tradition
affected
/ superstition.
Oh.
So like, I don't know, Neil. I don't know if your family did this or if you know anyone who did this. So
hit me with
on New Year's, like December.
Oh, you gotta
31st.
jump if you want to be tall.
Yeah.
Let's go!
That's a good one. Hey, look how you turned out, dude. You're freaking 6 foot, bro.
Well, no, look.
you jumped to the freaking moon, bro.
like you had to jump with like money in your pockets. Exercise.
Yes.
And then you gotta like throw money around the house. Oh, throw
No,
money around
I
the house
I didn't do
during
that.
house blessings.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was like, I don't do that during New Year's, but I do that during housewarmings and or not house parties. But yeah, house blessings. You throw
Just a
money.
tangent. I remember we had a house blessing over at my house, and you know how we throw money, right? Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of took a handful of quarters and like chucked it at someone.
That's
So I
so
could shotgun
mean.
them with quarters. I'm sorry.
But yeah, other superstitions would also like mostly New Year's would be all the lights in the house need to be on because that means you're gonna have a bright future. Uh,
I fucking wish.
that's it. It's the jumping, the coins in your pocket, throwing money at a house blessing or housewarming, and the lights on. I can't think of any other superstitions that we do as like tradition or like growing up. I can't think. My parents helped me believe in the tooth fairy growing up. I would get I would tell them I lost a tooth. Put it on my pillow and I get $1. Hell yeah.
My dad tried.
What?
My
parents
dad
didn't do
tried
that.
to make me believe in Santa, but like
Same.
I came home one night and like there was this note from Santa on the tree, and I know what my dad's handwriting looked like, and I was like, "Dad, you wrote this." He was like, "No," and that's how at 7 years old, I knew Santa was. What a childhood, right?
My parents made me, whenever I lost a tooth, they made me throw it into the trash can, and they would tell me that they would tell me
Jesus.
if you don't throw it straight in, or like if it doesn't land straight, then your teeth would grow crooked.
I've never heard that one before. That's interesting. What do you mean land straight? How does a tooth land straight? Why does
It
it have to
lands
be
like
why does it have to be a trash can?
Don't know. I have no. But did your parents? What my parents did was my mom used to tie a string, like a little sewing string, around my tooth, and then she would tie it on the door, and then she'd slam it.
Oh no, I never had that. What
Yeah,
happened was my dad would take me into the restroom, have me open my mouth. He'd just go in there with his bare hands and pull it out.
yeah. I've had the string, but not to a door. I've had the string and he would just pull it. I've had the bare hands. I've had pliers be used once.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
don't worry, it wasn't painful. Like I was scared it was gonna be painful. It wasn't painful. I don't know. Oh, yo, growing up Asian. Yo, what are your family like homemade remedies or whatever? Yo,
The
You're-
green oil thing?
yeah.
Oh, yo, efficacy oil, bro.
Yo, it makes it yo.
That's
that
good
was
shit.
that was a good shit, bro.
Like,
yo,
no, that shit actually works.
it works
though.
though. Yeah. Yo, Vicks Vapor Rub.
Oh no,
Oh,
like
yeah.
what's the thing you rub on your forehead? The
Huh?
five cranes?
I don't have.
The
I've
menthol
I've
rub?
never had that one. I've never had that one.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Like, there's this menthol rub that you rub on your forehead
I-
when your head
I
hurts?
know what you're talking about. I've never used it.
God.
What about you, Kyla? Did you ever have that?
You're not Asian.
No, I don't think so.
What the fuck?
Okay, well, what have you had? What have you had? I think me and Niels, ours is like Filipino stuff. What do you have?
Okay. Have you guys heard of being coined?
Yes, I've never had it.
I've
though.
heard of it, but I've
Oh.
That's
seen
yeah,
it,
that's
but
not
I've
that's
never
not a.
even done it.
I wouldn't say Filipinos don't do it. I think it's. I know some Filipino families that have done it, but I think that's
Mhm.
it's more rare. So
Oh.
Honestly,
yeah.
it looks therapeutic, but
also painful.
It hurts so bad.
all right, I take it back. Therapeutic, my ass.
But it does work. My mom used to like sit on me because I would keep moving because it hurt so bad. But apparently, it's really funky how you use green oil and you get a coin or a spoon, and then you just kind of like scrape your back. And then if it's spotty, I think it means that you caught water. And then if it's smoother, then that means you caught wind. So when you do that, it's supposed to relieve your body of water of wind.
Oh my!
Interesting.
Oh, you know what? In the Philippines, there's this thing called panghilot, right?
I don't know. You gotta describe it to me.
All right, so basically, when you get sick in the Philippines, they believe that there's a bad spirit in you.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Okay, but keep going.
Yeah, so I had it done to me before. Like I went to a Filipino spiritual, and she uh she did some shit around me. She melted she melted some candle wax into a bowl of water, and like she was pointing at like random figures. She's like, "See that? That's a man. That's a woman. There's a man and a woman
What?
in you." And I'm like, "What the fuck is going on? I'm just sick with the cold, dude. Come on."
I've
And
uh, okay.
and what she had me do was like she melted the wax into the water, and then she was like, "Okay, if you want to get rid of them, you have to rub this water with wax in it in your eyes." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I thought it was like
What
the
the
most fucked
hell?
up shit ever.
I've
I was like,
I've
I
never
don't know
heard
if
of
I want to
that.
put candle wax in my eyes.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and like sometimes they like uh you know how like people that do heroin they like light up the spoon, right?
Mhm.
They do that shit too. They like get the ashes, and it's like, what the fuck is going on, dude? I don't feel
Yeah.
healed in any way, shape, or form, but if you want to believe you are, then fuck it, why not?
Yeah, I've never had that. I've had like I've been to like Filipino quote unquote exorcisms where it sounds a little similar, but not like that. So no, I've never had that, but I don't know,
That sounds scary.
a
That's
little
like
bit.
that's scarring as a child.
Well, no,
No,
okay, no. So
there was
that one wasn't as a child. That was like 3 years
oh,
ago.
I've had it as a child. Like they just really calm about it. Like, oh, this bad spirit is haunting you. We're gonna get you clean, okay? And it's like,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I mean,
down
I
to
don't know. It's religious superstition that too, but my family was never like that. So I mean, I can't
oh boy,
say it
you're
was
lucky.
like yeah, kinda.
Cause like I'll show you now. It's probably just a cold, and they just bad spirit.
So
I don't
yeah,
understand. That's okay.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Do you guys have any other things to talk about while we're still here?
Bad
We've been
spirit.
at it for about an hour now, so anything?
I think I'm actually pretty all
Yeah, me too.
done.
I mean, I'll answer any question that is asked. But
I mean, yeah. If you have any questions, like I'm down to answer it.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. All right, last one, sorta, maybe. Did your parents make you force you to take any lessons or hobbies as a kid?
Oh boy, you
um,
want to learn the piano with me? Fuck. Yes.
So I'm
I
assuming
was.
you did the piano.
Shut up.
Okay.
I did, yes. So no, actually, the only instrument my parents actually forced me to learn was the piano. On my own, I learned how to play the clarinet and the violin,
Oh, nice.
oh dang.
but I lost all my skills, so it's okay.
I was like, I've seen you play piano. I've never seen you play the other two. But
Yeah.
whatever. It's you do you. So the piano was the only one your family made you do.
Yeah, and then we bought a piano, and no one plays it anymore.
Gerard says, I think I actually got treated by a shaman as a kid.
Dude, oh, it's the shamans, yeah, dude.
Dude,
Spirituals.
that's super old school, bro. All right, Kyle, what about you? Did they make you do any hobbies?
They
Quote unquote
actually
Karate.
hobbies?
Sorry.
didn't. No,
Sorry. Can I throw out one
I
more?
yeah, go for it.
Karate. Boom. That's how you know you're Asian.
Okay.
But yeah, no, my parents. I think that's probably the one non thing. Yeah, they didn't make me do anything, but I wanted to do gymnastics, so they let me do that for a bit until I broke my arm, and then my mom was no, no more.
Oh, of
And I
course.
stopped. Yeah, but I always wanted to play an instrument. That's something I wish my parents made me do.
Really?
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
now that like I've kind of been doing like not I wouldn't say gymnastics, but like I do basically tricking and rock climbing.
Oh dang, yeah.
Like my parents, they went from encouraging me to like, holy shit, please be careful. I know people that have died from doing that shit. And I'm like, you made me like this. You wanted me to explore. Now I'm here. What do you want?
No, I feel that. I feel that. For me, I didn't get forced to do anything. Like I signed up to like with the local parks and their sports leagues as a kid, but that's because I wanted to do it. Because
Oh, sorry.
I
Did I
wanted
do
to do
more?
sports. Like I played baseball
Basketball.
and basketball 2 different years. Um, and then I remember signing up for taekwondo, but the thing was, I was okay with it. I was like whatever about it. I wasn't like too into taekwondo. And my parents were like whatever about it too. They're like, "Do you want to keep going?" I said I don't really care. It's whatever. Cuz I felt performance anxiety as a kid too. I'm like, "Stop looking at me." And then
Really? Because my parents were always like, "Oh, there's another karate tournament. You're gonna go fight?" And
no,
I'm,
no,
"Oh,
no, no. Because
sure."
like occasionally, like my dad would take me to like taekwondo practice, right? And he would be there to watch. I'm just like, stop watching. And then, because I was like, it's like I know you're judging me because my parents, growing up a kid, they always judge me, right? Be like, you're doing this wrong, you're
Yeah.
doing this wrong, you're doing this right. I'm just like, whatever. So there was this like promotion at the taekwondo school. It's like, all right, cool. You can get 2 free months worth of lessons, right? And it was like twice a week. So I got like what 8 times, about 12, 16 times or so. I'm like, they paid $40 for the custom. What's that thing called? The uniform?
The gi?
Yeah, the gi,
Yeah, you're welcome.
taekwondo, and like it had my last name on it too, and it was cool. It's like $40. They paid for it, but since it was free lessons, after the free lessons was over, I never went back. That was my way of parents saving money and letting me do something that didn't
Oh,
have to.
I fucking feel that shit.
Yeah,
Always with the free trials.
yeah, the free trials, man. You gotta get what you not paid for. But yeah, I mean, I also wish I learned a musical instrument. But I just ended up learning how to sing on the fly.
Yeah, same. Oh,
And
that's the
that's
thing.
how we met, Neil.
Bro, fucking
They took you
Filipino
to
parents.
church, bro.
Yeah, take me to church. Bring me to fucking choir, bro.
Why your brother?
Make
Like I was telling Kyla before the podcast started. I knew your brother Nico before I knew you
from choir.
from choir, church choir. Hallelujah. We never sung that.
Absolutely not. And then what else? Oh, fucking altar service.
Oh,
Bring.
that's you.
Yo,
That's you and your family.
okay,
Your family
dude.
was
Oh, really?
your no, cause your family, it's your mom, right? Your mom's
My
the one.
family's always like, Neil, are you gonna be a priest? Like, no, dude. Probably not. I'm the holy
Alright.
for this shit.
I was like, yeah, it's cause your mom's even the catechist for the communion thing.
It's called a Eucharistic minister.
There you go. I couldn't figure out the word.
Cat.
That's exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. That's basically it. Um. Well, I think now is a good time to end it. We've been going on for about an hour 10, hour 15, ended at a pretty good time. So I'd like to thank everyone who joined in the chat, and these two, like I said, wonderful people for joining me today on
Thank you
episode
all.
21. Neil
Aw.
and Kyla, thanks for coming out, guys. Um. So yeah, did you guys have any final words? Any self plugs you want to get out there before I close
Oh
the
yeah,
show?
yeah, my boy Brunel. If you're here, fucking Twitch TV slash fuck, I don't even know what it is. Give me a second, I'll find it. All right, yeah, Twitch TV slash hi, my name is underscore XCL0UD Cloud.
Not
Shout
even.
out to my boy Brunel. That's all.
All right, all right. What about you, Kyla? Any last words or self plugs?
Well, this is my first podcast, so it's been really cool. I had a great time to you guys. You guys are so funny.
Sorry, I try my best. That's the only thing I have.
Same.
Yeah, in terms of plugs, I mean, I do financial advising if any help with that.
Oh, yo, who wants to get their taxes done? Geeky.
But other than that, like I'd be down to be a resource for anyone, always there to help the Asian community and just help people in general. So hit me up, feel free. I'm not like scary or anything like that.
All right, all right,
Yeah.
awesome. So we got a Twitch stream and financial advising. Awesome. Thanks guys once again. So Neil, hopefully I'll see you on a podcast depending on the schedules coming up with you, me, and Kemp.
Down as fuck.
I know, unless you're unless when you're not rock climbing.
Yeah, when I'm not rock climbing, I'm down.
And Kyla, once again, thank you so much. If you ever want to be on a
Of
future
course.
podcast or have any topics that you like would want me to talk about on any other day, let me know. Obviously, it's super open. And we already have a
For
couple of
sure.
topics lined up, but I would love to have people like yourself on the podcast some more.
Oh.
So, with that said, I want to thank everyone for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully I don't post this up a year late like I posted the last 5 podcasts on my channel last night. Um, but yeah, hopefully we'll be back sooner rather than later. Um, so yeah, podcast life, and yeah, thanks again, and we're out. Peace.